Hey everybody, and welcome to Bits of Board, where we're talking board games, miniatures, cards and dice. My name's Michael, and today we continue on our journey through Middara's Crawl campaign. We're picking up right where we left off. Our adventurers are taking just a miniature break from their initial quest. You see, they are out here trying to take on the cave sickles. They're doing a massive extermination. They're bringing the bug bomb down into the depths and hopefully wiping them off the face of the underworld maps. But we found another passageway that could potentially lead to treasure, so we're going to go quickly explore that. Now, I'm pretty sure this encounter takes us into the watery depths, so expect some water lower, some of the toughest enemies we've come across so far. But all things going as they should, we're hopefully going to find our way back onto the cave sickle scent so we can take them out for good. Are you ready? Let's get stuck in. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here is where we left our adventurers. Rook had just made an amazing run from the top of the tile down, landing a very solid hit against the water lower, sending him back into the pools beneath. All that was left for us to do is decide how we want to end this encounter. And I've decided to continue down into the watery depths to find treasure and glory and all those sorts of things. Maybe even stumble our way back onto the scent of the cave sickle hive. Now, to end this encounter properly, we've kind of got to go around the board. Rook's moved and we can't finish off until we're standing on that exit down there. But this delay is not bad news. We head back to the initiative track. Rook is done. We head to Zeke's turn and he actually heals 1 point of his damage. So down to 4, and we gain 3 points of stamina, like so. Now Zeke's all the way back here, but that's all right. We're going to spend 1 of his points of stamina to move. We'll spend 2 points of movement gained to get out of that watery tile. 3, 4, 5, 6. He's actually not going to be able to make it to the exit either, so we'll end his turn there. Nothing really to worry about. We head back to Remy's turn, again healing a point of damage because she and Zeke both have the Nirvana's Mark ability. We give her 3 points of stamina, and that is about done. She moves onto the exit tile, and off we go. We read the alternate win conditions. An adventurer finds and ends their turn on the blue exit. We reveal our reward. We may shop and train as per page 4 in this book, and then we continue to the muggy hollow scenario. Alright, so let's have a quick shop. Let's figure out first how much gold we've got to spend, and also how many points of experience each character gained. Good news here too, we also get Nightingale back. At a bit of a price though. Because we did lose her during the scenario, she comes back with only half of her hit points, so 6 points there. So Zeke in total managed to pick up 11 gold, and this is across 2 loot cards, so that's 2 XP for him. Nightingale got us 4. Rook did pretty great, netting us 25 gold, and that's 4 XP for him there. But Remy takes the lead with 28 gold. Holy crap. Now, with those 4 XP that Rook gained, he's sitting on a total of 8 because he never spent all of his XP in the previous scenario. This means that he's got enough XP to actually pick up a level 2 Sanctus ability. Now, there are a ton of great abilities in the Sanctus tree that will help us out across the entire campaign. We have a once per encounter resurrection. We have an ability that can grant flight. We have another ability that grants increased movement to allies within our sphere of influence. We have potentially the one that I'm going to go for here, which is an ability allowing us to remove effects from figures within sphere of influence. And that's both positive and negative, so that could be really, really good. Proof of Divinity gives us the ability to grant courage, and then they gain bonus stamina every time they attack. An attack that buffs other allies in the area. And of course, the other one that I had my eyes on earlier gives us total immunity to 1 effect that we've chosen at the beginning of the encounter. Like I said though, I'm not sure what I'm walking into here, so I think I'm going to take the Soul Clear ability. This will allow us to deal with any effects as they come up without having to know much background on the scenario. It is a very defensive move, but so is this discipline. Let me know what you guys think, and maybe you can decide the next one. Right, so that ability costs us 7 of our XP gained. So Rook's back down to 1, but that is as much as he can do for the moment. Zeke would have 3 points of experience, But that's not enough to invest any further with the disciplines he's already started, so we'll skip anything there. Remy scored 4 more. Again, not enough to allow her to invest further in the martial skill set. And yeah, poor old Nightingale only getting 1. But that's okay because we have 68 gold to play around with, plus 1 that we never spent during setup of the encounter. Let's do this. And we are gonna spend the lot. Physique, I bequeath unto you the Deflection Core, or an awesome pair of sunnies. These grant +1 armor, but also boost one of his conviction dice to a white dice. On top of that, it gives him a flip ability when making a conviction check, pass it. That's just that good. Next, I figured Remy was getting into a little bit of trouble in the close combat side of things, so I've given her the ability core, which boosts her armor and gives her an exhaust ability to counter. So maybe we can see the counter stuff in action. Nightingale, she just needs more attacks. So while it's not incredibly powerful, this could be used in a pinch. The fight drive will give her a once per encounter ability to make a melee or ranged attack. Beauty. Further boosting Remy, I've gotten the Too Many Belts. You've seen this in action with Rook, but the first time you're dealt melee damage every round, you may reduce that amount by 2, and it gives her a dodge exhaust. And then, well, because she's gonna need it, we've given Nightingale a Vitality Juice Box. This will help her heal up a little bit and get her ready for the rest of this encounter. Now, the reason that I've not actually ended up buffing, well, Nightingale, is that I really didn't use any of her arrows last encounter. And I don't know why I was saving them for special occasions and all the like, but arrows, they are $1 each, and you can only hold 3, so I think it's time we let the arrows fly this encounter. Maybe if I change up my playstyle, we will see better results. All right, with all that done, let's get stuck in. You drop down into a secluded cavern, splashing into the water below. You are careful not to land on the sharp rocks littering the cave floor. You begin to take in your surroundings, but before you get your bearings, you're ambushed by water lowers. All right, so here we are all set up. We've got our clump of adventurers down in the starting area, and we have 2 water lowers that, as the scenario just said, are ambushing us. First thing we got to do when we set up an encounter is shuffle up those initiative cards and place them out. Shuffle it up, and then first off, oh god damn it. The water lowers will be attacking first, with Zeke second, Remy third, Nightingale fourth, and that leaves old Rook for the very last activation. Now we have one relevant rule for the encounter. As stated, we're ambushed. After dealing the initiative cards, move the water lower up on the initiative track. Well, they're about as high as they can get, so looks like we're just going to have to deal with that. Now, before we get into their activation, I think it's worthwhile mentioning 1 or 2 things about beginning a new encounter in a scenario. Probably the main things to notice is that, well, we don't shuffle back our previously gained loot cards. These are still considered out of the game. So basically, we are just working through a single deck of loot until we're instructed to restore our adventurers. And yes, that means we do not heal up in between encounters unless we're instructed to do so. So those points of damage that Nightingale has, they're not going anywhere. Any cards that we've flipped that don't have an action to flip them back over, they're going to stay as well. So we're continuing on battered and bruised. That in mind, let's get real scared because the water lowers are about to activate. Actually, just as a heads up before we begin, that deflection core, the sunglasses that I said we'd give to Zeke, we'd probably better not give to Zeke because, well, if we do, Nightingale might not get a chance to survive this first round. How's that for an idea? All right. That said, let's get into it. Water lowers begin. First check. Is there a figure within sphere of influence that has an effect? Currently, no, so we'll skip through that. Is there more than one opponent adjacent? The closest we'd have is Rook over here, but that is only one opponent, so we skip that. Is there an opponent within sphere of influence? And that is yes to both of these lower here. We begin with water lower number 1 up the top here. All of our adventurers are within sphere of influence, so this lower is going to cast. We roll the white dice, we add the value to their spell value of 6. We have a total of 12 going on here. Who is the target? Well, it's going to be the adventurer with the lowest conviction level, and yes, this is why I moved the sunglasses off Zeke onto Nightingale, because that means he's going to be taking one for the team here. Remember, conviction value is the sum total of all the conviction dice that you would be rolling. Zeke, as he doesn't have any upgrades, will be receiving this attack. We grab his conviction dice, the purple ones, and we're rolling, hoping to get a 12 or more, but if we can't make that, we need to get as close as we can. Ouch! A total of 8 there, which means we are at a loss of 4 points. Having a look at the AI instructions, this means we're getting 4 plus 2 more damage for Zeke here. That is way too much for my liking. Zeke goes from 4 to 10 damage. I am not a fan of this at all. Water Lower 2 activates. Exactly the same thing. Only a 2 this time, which means it's a spell value of 8. This is what I was hoping for. I'm going to roll Zeke's save here. And we get a 9, just sneaking in there. All right. Water lowers are done. We move into Zeke's activation and he heals 1 point of damage. Gonna go ahead and discard his vitality juice box so he can heal up another 3. And then let's get into it. All right, so we know that the lower are really tough to kill with magic, and Zeke is our magic guy. So we're going to get him in there attacking hand to hand. So we're going to move, spending 1 point of our stamina. I, of course, forgot to give him stamina during his refresh phase, so you have him 3 points there, and we'll spend 1 point of our total 5 to move. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And probably 5, 6, so we can get corner to corner with this lower up here. All right, now this is probably the first time that we've gotten to see the magic staff in action as a melee weapon. So we're going to be rolling 2 purple dice here, and we're hoping for some books, basically. Let's roll. 5 and 6 is good. For a grand total of 11, the lower only have a defense value of 9. So we're looking at a hit. We're already on 2 points of damage. And then because we have 2, 3 books, we can cash 2 of those in for 2 more magic damage, which means, bam, a hit for 4, and that is a solid start on the lower here. Now, I would, of course, love to lay those 4 points of damage on the water lower here, but these guys have an arcane passive, which is not good for us. Basically, it removes all of the shields, books, and burst symbols from any attack dice we roll. So those 4 potential damage drop down to just 2. Let's cash in Zeke's final 2 points of stamina, and we're going to attack again. Roll on those purple dice. A 3 and a 7, a total of 10, and again, those symbols would have been so helpful. Just 1 damage. All right, Zeke, you are done for the moment. 6 damage, hang in there. Remy gains up to her maximum in stamina and no damage to heal up. Now, because she's got flight, we would be remiss if we didn't use her ability to traverse the watery terrain there. So we're going to get up close and personal with water lower number 1. I trust that our other heroes can deal with number 2 over here. That move, of course, costs her 1 point of stamina, but now she's all free up to land some attacks. So we're going to spend 2 more points and get her sword and start swinging some blades. Long sword and short sword, we upgrade the dice on these suckers to be purple and orange. Love that orange dice. Let's see what sort of damage we can cause here. 7 and 5, a great start. Can't use the symbols to bump them up, but that's 3 damage. Not a bad swing. All right, 3 damage on water lower number 1. Let's keep it up. All right, still got 2 points of stamina. Let's go all out here. We're going to cash those in for our second attack. We're going to roll purple and orange again. Big numbers, please. They are small numbers. Damn it. That's okay. Not the end of the world. Before we give in, we're going to call on Remy's Blade Works ability. We'll exhaust that to make a free attack. We can do this just so long as we're holding 2 one-handed weapons, and you know we are. So let's roll. 7 and 5, big numbers again, and that's going to be another 3 hit points in. Beautiful. All right, Remy, well done. Nightingale, your activation, we're going to give you 3 points of stamina to work with here. Now, instead of moving, we're going to stay put and we're going to utilize one of the special abilities of the longbow. You'll see here, so long as we remain still, we can gain +1 to our attack roll, which means it's going to be easier for us to hit. We gather our dice pool, being the purple and white dice, and we get rolling. I'm going to target water lower, number 2. Let's roll. All right. That's pretty cool. We roll a 10 +1. That's 11 for us. Pretty sweet roll. 2 more damage. Bump that up. There we go. Total of 5 points of damage on the water lower there. Now, of course, Nightingale's only got 1 point of stamina left, but she also has the Quick Blow Subterfuge ability, which allows her to spend 1 point of stamina, and then during the follow-up stage of her attack, she can make another attack. So let's go again. Dishing out more damage to number 2 here. Unfortunately, not nailing it. Now, just to be sure that we all make it through this encounter, Nightingale is also going to use her juice box to heal up. We turn that 6 into 3. Hello, Vincent. All right, into Rook's activation here. Bring him up to the maximum stamina. Let's do some damage. He's in a pretty good spot to lace some hurt here. His hand axe and shield combo, giving us 2 white dice for the attack. Let's see how we do. 7 and 7, that is the best we can possibly roll here. 14 compared to the water lower's 9 defense means 5 points of damage. Can we finish this thing off? We spend 2 more points of stamina and we roll. No, we do not make it. That is only 8. We need 9+ to actually consider this a hit. But, actually, there is some good news here. The hand axe has a neat little combo ability. We can exhaust this sucker to reroll a miss, essentially. As long as we've missed an attack, we can exhaust this for a reroll, essentially. So we'll do that, and we'll go again. Come on! 6, 6, 12, and that is all I need. 3 points of damage there. Phenomenal stuff. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is more than enough to take care of this thing. The lower is dead, and Rook, he gains a combatant loot card. Let's draw, and we get another 8 gold coins to play with. Brilliant. All right, Rook's done. We are back over to the water lower here, and they are going to activate. Unfortunately for us, I didn't get someone else into melee range, so that means this thing here is going to be targeting Zeke with its spell attack. We roll its dice. A 3, that's not so bad. A total spell value of 9. Zeke can beat this. I know he can. A 7 and a 2. That is 9 right there. We are safe for this round. Water lowers are done. Into Zeke's turn. We're going to lose 1 of his hit points. Brilliant. And he gains 3 stamina points to play with. Now, we can't do anything amazingly cool from where we are here, so I might actually get Zeke moving towards the exit of this tile. This way we'll have some good stamina for the next round. So I'm going to go ahead and spend just 1 of his points of stamina, 3 down to 2, and we're just going to move him along. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think we'll stop there. That way we remain out of sight of the totem over there and are not going to be spawning any more monsters this round. I can only assume that thing is going to spawn some deadly stuff. Although, all right, let's do it. Let's risk it. Zeke finishes his turn on the next map tile, and he's in line of sight of the yellow totem. That means we are off to the crawl book. All right. It's a small one here. You can see another shore around the corner. Place tiles and tokens according to diagram 31. All right, so we spawn our new tile, but check it out. There is a blue totem here, and I'd say we are in line of sight of that as well. Oh man. All right, 20 bucks says this is bad news. In the far corner of the cavern, a small passage leads further down. Place the blue exit token on this space this token occupies. From the depths of the dark passage, a lone cave sickle scurries onto the rocky platform. Spawn a cave sickle on the blue exit. Methinks we've found a way to the cave sickle hive. We roll the black dice because we are going to be placing this cave sickle in the initiative track 3 spaces down. We go 1, 2, 3, right at the end there. Now, before we go too far on, I will just pop a treasure chest there. That should have been there from setup. But we might have a look at Zeke attacking here. Actually, I think he's going to be too far away because Sphere of Influence is only 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's way too far. All right, so that is the end of Zeke's activation. On to Remy. We give her 3 points of stamina, and of course we unexhaust all of her weapons and abilities and stuff. Let's get attacking, shall we? We spend 2 points of her newly gained stamina, and we roll up, hoping for big numbers. And we do pretty bloody poorly, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Let's exhaust the Blade Work skill card to roll again. Come on, come on. And really poorly. I'm talking terribly poorly. Okay, crap. All right, Remy's activation done. We move into Nightingale's activation. We unexhaust all. We gain 3 points of stamina. And then I think we'll try and do some damage. Now we're going to make use of that bow special ability again, increasing our roll by 1 point. So that means no movement, all out attack. Let's roll. A 4 and a 6, I'll take that. Plus 1 being 11, that means 2 points of damage. And it's actually even better than that. Good thing I remembered so close to the beginning of the scenario, but for goodness sake, I forgot about Nightingale's Precise Strike ability. This is a passive that grants her plus 1 range damage. That 2 points of damage we just dealt becomes 3, and we might actually be able to pull this off. We spend her last point of stamina to get a quick blow in. We attack during the follow-up. Let's roll. 7 galore. We didn't even need that plus 1 damage. The roll is 14, plus 1 for standing still, up to 15. That's 6 points above, and we get plus 1 on top of that. This lower is done and dusted, and congratulations, 6 gold for you, Nightingale. Well done. Oh, I love it. All right, that's some amazing work there. Rook, time for your action, buddy. 3 points of stamina, but you're not even going to be able to use them doing what you love, and potentially let's get some treasure. Now, not forgetting his cards, of course, he has the Aspect skill, which grants him plus 2 to movement, and we can ignore any increased costs for movement in difficult terrain and all that sort of stuff. So 8 points, 1 space apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are adjacent to some treasure. Now, I'm pretty sure I haven't been spending any stamina doing my actions over the previous videos, so I'm just going to let you guys know right now that anytime you want to activate treasure or anything like that, it plays out as though it were an encounter-specific action, which means it's going to cost us 1 point of stamina. So Rook's got 2 points left. We're picking up this blue loot token. Let's find out what that means. All right, blue loot looks good to me. You pull an item from the chest, gain 1 random mundane relic. Nice. However, the rocks around the chest are wet and slick. Make an agility 10 check. All right, let's do those 2 things first. All right, so I've got the remaining relics. We've actually bought so many of these things, so I'm a little, I don't know what we're going to get here. Anyway, all right, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to shuffle, and I'm going to take the 3rd one down. Here we go. 1, 2. It's that freaking sundial, the fate engine again. Oh my goodness, I'm sick of this thing. It's got a good passive, conviction upgrade to a white dice. I'd love to get this into Nightingale's hands. No, Zeke. I'd love to get it into Zeke's hands. And then a once per encounter ability. After a roll is made against you, remove all symbols from 1 dice. Very useful in a pinch, I'm sure. All right, that's done. Next, we've got to make an agility 10 check. All right, now Rook's a pretty beefy dude. He's got some pretty rubbish agility here. Only 1 point. We're going to roll the 2 purple dice here. We'll add this number to his agility. and hopefully we can meet or exceed the test roll. We need a 9 here, guys. 2 and 3, no good. Rook fails. All right, if you fail, you slip and fall, end your turn immediately. That's actually not so bad. I didn't plan on doing anything else anyway. All right, with Zeke done, we move into Cave Sickle number 1's activation. We run his AI check. Is there an opponent adjacent? No, there's not. Is there an opponent within range of 4? No, there's not. Can it move and attack an opponent within range of 4? 6 points of movement on this thing. It's definitely going to be able to get to the water. Our Cave Sickle's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll check where it's at. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he's not going to be in range of Zeke there, but he is going to be in range of Rook. Question is, does he want to move in range of Zeke? Let's have a look. Have a look here, and it's going to be to the nearest opponent, which is definitely Rook. So he's going to cop this attack here. Now, this Cave Sickle only has 2 white combat dice, so let's see how he rolls. A 4 and a 7. Ooh. So Rook's got a base defense value of 9, and this is increased by his defensive core, so this is 10. But this attack still does more. Currently, it's dealing 1 point of damage. We have a look at the Cave Sickle's card, and you'll also note he gains +1 damage for every shield he rolls. 3 shields there, that is a total of 4 damage. Wow. Look, just for kicks, because we just got the dang thing, let's exhaust this Fate engine. This is the once per encounter ability down there, and we are going to remove all symbols from the dice, which means this is stuck doing just 1 point of damage, and wouldn't you know, we have 1 point of armor on our shield. That damage is not dealt at all. All right, that's the Cave Sickle's activation. Back to the beginning we go. The water lower has been removed from the track, so we're up to Zeke's activation. First off, he heals 1 point of damage, back down to 4 there, and we're going to give him 3 stamina to play with. He's up to the max of 5. Let's get him attacking. You see, when it comes to the water lower, Zeke kinda is not great. But on the other hand, Cave Sickles, yeah, he knows how to handle them. We'll spend 1 point of his stamina first to move, and we're actually going to move as close as we possibly can to this Cave Sickle here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to charge up his Gore Shot and hopefully do a little bit of damage to this sucker. We'll spend 1 point of stamina, and we are casting. Now this spell value is 6, and we've got an upgraded casting dice to a white, so 6 plus 2 is 8. Not great for us. The Cave Sickle's conviction dice are purple, so he's going to roll these, and he actually saves it. Of course, that was, I think that was almost a given. But that's okay, because Zeke still has 3 points of stamina left. We're going to cash in 1 of them to do it again. Spellcast, we roll a 5 here. Traditionally do very well with the 5s. The Cave Sickle rolls a 9. 5 plus the spell's value of 6 is 11. This spell affects. We're going to go ahead and take 1 irreducible damage to power up our Gore Shot. Now it's doing 3 points of damage, and we've just stripped half the life off this Cave Sickle. We spend another point of stamina. Hopefully we can do it again. A 3. This may not be great. Cave Sickle rolls, and rolls terribly. Only 6 against our total of 9. We'll take another irreducible damage. And guys and gals, this Cave Sickle is done. Now for the Cave Sickle to award any loot, you might remember, we have to remove all of the Cave Sickles of the card on the board. There was only 1 on the board, so we are sweet. The swarm is done, and Zeke gains a card. 7 gold for the party. Well done, mate. All right, Remy, we unexhaust everything. We give you 3 points of stamina. Let's do some flying. All right, she wants to get out there, and I actually think she wants to kind of explore the very far side of the map. So we're going to do everything we can do to get out there. Now, something I always tend to forget is that Remy's wearing the occult shirt, which gives her +1 movement. So for a base movement of 7, let's get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. So we're just hanging out next to Rook here. I'm willing to invest a little bit more stamina to get flying. We drop her down to 2 to move another 2 spaces. This is just going to make it that little bit easier for us to get out of this tile and onto some dry land. Nightingale nets 3 points of stamina. And she's going to need them if she's going to move. We'll spend 1 immediately to get moving. And we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to need to get to 7 to there, and that's going to cost us some points. Look, I'm willing to spend all of her stamina here. Another 2 points to gain 4 points of movement. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, it's not great for us, but at least we're all on the same tile. All right, Rook, what have you got for us? Firstly, I should get rid of that cave sickle tile because we have no enemies on the map. 3 points of stamina. All right, let's get moving. We have 8 points of movement as base value, and we're only spending 1 point of movement for each square, so I think we might be able to do this. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more points of movement and we can reveal whatever it is that this totem is hiding from us. We spend 1 more point of his stamina, boosting our movement by 2 points, and here we are face to face with the red totem. In the back of a tight spot, squeeze between 2 rock formations, you see some loot. Yes! Place the red loot token on the space this token occupied. That's pretty sweet. Rook's still got 3 points of stamina, and I'm thinking we spend 2 of them to give him 4 extra movement points. We move adjacent to the red loot token here, and we spend his final point of stamina to reveal whatever it is hidden between those rock formations. All right, it's a short one, that's for sure. You search through a discarded sack and find some items, gain 2 random mundane consumables, then read the hidden text for the blue objective. Oh, all right, let's shuffle some consumables. I'm going to go I haven't actually ever shuffled these. Hang on. All right, sufficiently shuffled here. I'm going to go 15 down because I have no idea what's down there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One of them is a vitality juice box. Love it. We shuffle again. This time we're going to go 7 down. How's that? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We gain... Are they throwing knives? They're throwing knives. That's fun. Now, Rook's already carrying a few consumables, so we're going to make use of our free re-equip action, and I'm just going to pop this in the backpack out of the way. That way the other ones are available to us for the time being. All right, so we are reading the blue objective. Who's scared here? Far out I am. When you grab the loot, a clicking sound echoes through the hollow. The ceiling collapses above you, forcing you to jump. Remove your figure from the board and place tiles and tokens according to diagram 30. Then make an agility 10 check. Oh boy. Before we do anything, place our tile. All right, so here's our new tile. We've got cave sickles, we've got dangerous and obstructive terrain, but I'll tell you what, there's also a ton of treasure going on here. The bad news is Rook has to make an agility 10 check, and you know how bad he is with agility. Oh my goodness. All right, Rook, agility 1. We roll 2 dice. We need to roll a 9 or more here to pass. And we do. Oh my goodness. We get our 10. And just as well, if you fail, you are defeated as rocks collapse on top of you. Hectic. If you pass, place your figure on this objective. Regardless, discard this objective afterwards. Done and done. While adjacent to an obstructing terrain token on tile UM11, which is the new one we just placed, an adventurer may make an encounter action to make a strength 10 check, and if they pass, they may discard the obstructing terrain tokens. Awesome. For the moment though, I'd say that's the least of our worries. Rook is toe-to-toe with a cave sickle that is 100% going to activate right after him. And then if he manages to survive this attack, he's got to do some jumping because that's all obstructing terrain. All right, with that said, it's time for the cave sickles to activate. We begin with cave sickle number 1. First, are there any opponents adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within range for 1, 2, 3? Yes, there is. So Rook is going to cop a ranged attack here. Now, because there's another cave sickle in the area, we are going to upgrade his combat dice to be a white and an orange one. So, rolling these, let's get into it. And it's a pretty solid hit. Actually, no, it's not. It's terrible. Rook's 10 defense is enough to withstand this attack, but that's not it for our Cave Sickle. Because now we want to move and inflict a melee attack, but check it out. I don't think that this little guy can get into melee range. He'd somehow have to land over here, and there is no way he's getting past that dangerous terrain. So we'll call his activation there, but we still have Cave Sickle number 2, and in our first AI check, is there an opponent adjacent? Heck yes, there is. Rook is about to suffer a trio of melee attacks from this guy. So, same dice, upgraded to be orange and white, we roll, and a 7 and a 5, that is a massive hit. Definitely getting through his defenses, so 2 points up there, and then we also have 2 shields, which bring it up to 4 damage. Of course, Rook has that 1 point of armor, so we drop that down to 3, but that's still a mighty fine hit, and the first of 3, yeah, we're in some trouble here. From 4 to 7 damage. Alright, because that first attack didn't go so well for us, I'm pretty sure we are going to dodge the next 2. So just so you can see, the Cave Sickle here follows up his first attack with another attack, and then follows up that attack with another one. It's dangerous, it's deadly, and I hate it. But, lucky for us, we of course have the defense core, so I'm going to exhaust that to get its dodge ability. So we roll the black dice, and we get 2 extra points of defense. The Cave Sickle rolls its attack. 7 and 7, that is full on. So a total roll of 14 against Rook's, 12 points? They're already up 2 damage, plus 1, 2, 3 more for those shields. That's 5. Again, we still get that 1 point reduction thanks to our medium shield, but that's still 4 points of damage. This guy, he's not happy. All right, what have we got? 6, 7 plus 4 more. That gets us to 11. Wait, there is still good news. Just reading over the cards here, I forgot our badass leather jacket has a wonderful passive. Reduce physical damage dealt to you from melee attacks by 2 points, which means we're not on 11 damage now. We're actually just on 7, but that's still pretty bad. Yep, so I will flip that, add that, and now we're good. So on to that third attack here. We've exhausted the defense core, but we've still got too many belts going on, so we're going to exhaust that for its dodge. We are going to roll that black dice again, this time scoring 3 extra points of defense. Total defense value of 13, a 6 and a 5 from the Cave Sickle. Not enough to crack through our defenses this time, thank goodness. And I'll tell you what, let's cash in on this missed attack. We are going to exhaust Rook's medium shield. It has the counter ability. Flip it down, and guys and gals, we get to attack back. Basically, we're going to interrupt play here and make an attack of our own. In this case, for free. Rook grabs his 2 white dice, we roll, and we get an 8. Cave Sickle's defense is 8, so we've at least made the hit, but we're not scoring too much damage. Best I can do here is plus 2 damage thanks to the hand axe ability. Here we go. Cave Sickles are done, so we head over to Zeke's turn. And he's a little bit far from the action here, so let's see what we can do about it. Before we go anywhere though, we'll give him 3 points of stamina, and we'll heal just 1 of his hit points up there. Alright. Look, it's probably best to get him moving, so what we'll do is we'll get him out of the water. This is going to cost us 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 2 more points of movement. I'm going to go 5 and 6, working our way down to that rubble. Now this of course costs us 1 point of stamina, but I'm going to spend another one, leaving him with 2 points of stamina to boost his movement by 2. So we're going to go 1, 2, just like that. Now we're in a fairly interesting position here because 1, 2, 3, 4... Cave Sickle number 1 is actually within our sphere of influence, so I'm thinking, let's attack, why not? Let's use 1 of our remaining 2 points of stamina to Gore Shot. We're going to roll his spell dice, which is a white dice here. We get a 2, creating a total spell value of 8. Next, the Cave Sickle is going to try and resist using his conviction dice. 2 purple dice here. A 3 and a 7, he does actually manage to resist, but that's okay because Zeke has 1 remaining point of stamina. Let's cast again. A 7, much better this time around. Let's see if the Cave Sickle can resist a 13. No, he cannot. So that means 2 points of damage to this guy. We could bump it up to 3 by taking 1 irreducible damage ourselves, but I don't think we're going to do that. We'll be happy with our current damage. Awesome. Now both the cave sickles are damaged. All right, now Remy's next up. We give her 3 points of stamina, unexhaust everything, and let's get moving. Now, I really want to get her into a position where she can help Rook out, but it's going to cost us a lot of stamina points here. So, she's got 7 as base value, and if I want to get her all the way over there, we're going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Woo! So 1 point of stamina will get us 7 points. We're actually going to have to spend our remaining 4 points of stamina to get her the rest of the way. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hectic stuff. She made it all the way over, which is excellent, but she's got no stamina left to play with. It's not the end of the world though, because we of course have Blade Works, a wonderful skill that we are totally abusing. We exhaust this to make a free attack. We grab our attack dice, which are going to be purple and orange, and we get rolling. A 6 and a 2. That's enough to cut through the defenses of the cave sickle, but not actually enough to damage it, which is a bit of a shame. All right, at least we have options for our next round. Nightingale, I hate to say, you're probably not going to do heaps for us this round, but I'm going to give you some stamina anyway. Let's just get you out of the water, shall we? Yes, we'd better. All right, so we are going to spend 1 point of stamina to move. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get there. And I want to keep her going, so we'll spend, let's say, I don't know, another 2 points of stamina. So we'll take her from 4 points down to 2 points, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, hanging out near the exit here. All right, now Rook's in some pretty serious trouble if he can't deal with this cave sickle. So we're just going to give him 3 points of stamina, unexhaust all of his cards, and get attacking. All right, Rook, let's rock this. We'll spend 2 points of stamina to straight up attack. We only need 4 damage here, but I'm thinking we spend that last point of stamina so that we can empower this attack. So I'm going to grab that black dice, and let's roll here. Big attack. Big attack. Lovely. So we can roll a total of 10, which is 2 above the defense value of the cave sickle. 2 damage plus a ton of shields. We have 7 shields in total, which means we're going to be able to scam another 6 points of damage there. This cave sickle is done. Time for the cave sickle activation. Luckily, there is only one. Now this might be a pretty interesting attack. We'll begin with the checks. There's no one adjacent, but there is someone in range. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, both Rook and Remy are in range. Now because they're equal distance here, Remy is actually going to be the target because she is closest to the front of the initiative track. Bad news is for the cave sickle, he's lost his upgraded dice, so we've only got the 2 white ones. But before we roll, I'm thinking we should exhaust Remy's too many belts to dodge. We roll the black dice, only getting 1 shield, but this does bump our defense up to 11 because Remy is now holding the ability core, which gives it a +1 as well. So this cave sickle's got to roll pretty well. We grab his dice, and he does roll pretty well. Still rocking a 13 and a ton of shields. Bummer. All right, so that means 2 points of damage, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage with those shields. Ow! 6 points of damage, that hurts. And we're not done yet either. The next question we've got to ask is, can the cave sickle now run into range of a character and attack? And I believe he can. It is, however, going to take a couple of jump checks. So here is our cave sickle, and we're going to begin its movement to try and get him adjacent to Rook, or Remy for that matter. Now, I just want to prefix this by saying jumping for combatants, i.e. the monsters and stuff, is extremely different to jump checks for our own characters. It's a lot simpler for combatants. So let's check it out. We are going to attempt to move from here to here in 1 movement. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, like that. But we're just going to pop him here and head over to the card and roll our jump check. And it's as simple as this. We roll the black dice and everything is a success except for that dang skull here. So does he make the first one? Certainly does. He lands it. And now that he's landed it, we continue his movement. So far, We've expended 3 points of his 6. We'll need to spend 2 more to get him in range. So 1, 2. Let's get him in there, but let's go roll this second check. We roll. He rolls well. Now that he's made it into range, we're actually going to continue by doing his melee attack. So for this, we just roll the 2 white die as normal. A 2 and a 6. Look, that is enough. No. Unfortunately for him, that is not enough to land the hit. So we are pretty much done here. We have one final check, and that's the poison that they're going to try and inflict on us. This is Force 9. Rook's got 2 white dice for his conviction check. We just need a 9+. Oh, that's bad. Haha. Killer roll. So with that 3 and the floor 6, we actually make it. We've equaled the force of the effect. So we resist it completely. And that is it for the cave sickle here. Into Zeke's turn. Firstly, we're going to heal 1 point of damage, and then we're going to give him 3 points of stamina. Now, unfortunately for us, the cave sickle has run away, so we're not in range of an attack, but we might be able to do something about that obstructive terrain. So we're going to spend 1 point of stamina to move him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just go 3 here. And we're going to attempt to discard the obstructing terrain by doing a strength 10 check. Now, he's certainly no rook strong, but he's no slouch and has a strength of 4 there. So we'll make the test rolling the purple dice. Oh, unfortunately, no good. We can make the test again because we do have 1 more point of stamina to play with. So let's do that again, and hopefully we can roll a 6. Much better. All right. And we remove the token. We actually have an entryway in now. This is so good. All right, Zeke's turn's done, and we move into Remy's activation. We unexhaust all her cards, we give her 3 points of stamina, and we heal her up just that 1 point. Let's kill some cave sickles. Remy's in range here. We're going to grab her dice pool, and we've got purple and orange going on. We need an 8+ here. A 7 and a 5, and that is a sweet roll. Total of 12, that is already 4 points above the defense value of the cave sickle. We've got 2 shields for another 2 points of damage, and something that I've probably missed every time we play. But when we combo with the short sword, this is +1 damage as well. This guy is out. We gain a combat loot card for this, and that is 7 gold there. Very happy. Look, we've still got 1 point of stamina to use, and I'm thinking we might use it to traverse this kind of tricky terrain here, and we'll go see what all of that treasury goodness is down the bottom of the map. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually do want to move further if I can, but we've hit the green totem, so let's go check out what that means for our game. Just a little one. A cave sickle is hiding from all the loud sounds next to a giant treasure chest. Spawn a cave sickle on the space this totem occupied. All right, that makes 1 more cave sickle to go. Where does he spawn? So we've gotten rid of this one. We roll the black dice, and it's going to go 1 space after Remy, so straight after Nightingale there. All right, well, I would love to pick up that treasure and make an attack and do all those cool things, but I am out of stamina. So, Nightingale, what do you got for us? We unexhaust all her stuff, gain 3 points of stamina. Looks like the other guys might need our support here. We'll begin by spending 1 point of stamina to move, get that ball rolling, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over here. Now, unfortunately for us, she's not going to be in line of sight of the cave sickle, but if she can get to here, I'd say that is a nice clean shot. So let's spend that 1 more point of stamina to get those 2 extra points of movement. And here we are with a decent chance of finishing up this scenario. Remy loads her bow, and check it out. We are going to throw an arrow into the equation. Here it is. We're going to flip this before rolling for our attack. Before spending symbols on this attack, if the attack would still deal damage, add 2 physical damage to the attack, and then we can kind of flip this over and we can use it again before discarding. Purple and white dice. Come on. 6 and 7, yes! Huge hit. Awesome. That's a total of 13. That means this attack is going to do damage and we've got a base value of 5. Oh my god. 5 plus the 2 from the arrows is 7. Plus those symbols, what have we got there? 2 shields. That's 2 more damage. A burst, that's another damage. This guy is done. 1 hit. I love it. And for her troubles, a treasure card, another 6 gold. Well done. Cannot believe how well that worked. So cave sickles are done and we move into Rook's activation. This means 3 points of stamina. All right, let's have a look at how these jump checks work for our characters. We'll spend 1 point of his stamina to begin the move and I declare that we are jumping. We're gonna go 1, 2, the idea is to go 3, 4, 5, like that. But we're going to make a check first for our jump. All right, guys, so here's the jump test. God damn it, it's an agility test. I'm so sorry. Rook may fall to his death here. He has the lowest agility of just 1 point. We need a 9 here. Are you ready? Let's roll. Oh, wow. We did it! 6 plus 3, 9. We actually make this jump. So 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. Let's spend his second last stamina to open this chest. This is a big entry. It so looks like a trap. Oh, a heaping pile of gold sits on the chest. In fact, there is too much for one person to realistically carry. That's awesome. You may make a strength check while adjacent to this loot and gain gold equal to the number rolled. When making this check, roll the black die. If the result is a skull, the party gains an urgency token. Each adventurer may make this check once. Once this loot has been used by 4 adventurers, remove it from the game. If all adventurers gain gold using this loot, read the hidden text for achievement. Success breeds success. So we're adjacent. Let's make a strength test. Now, Rook would have to be the strongest in the party, right? Strength 6. We just need a 4 to make it. And we roll huge. 16 in total, 16 gold. How cool is that? I'm going to use wound tokens to show how much gold we got here. Awesome. All right, with Rook done, we actually haven't had an enemy activation this round, so we need to add an urgency token to the end here. Remember, 4 of these tokens and we lose. We move into Zeke's activation. We heal up 1 point of damage and grant 3 points of stamina. We need to get him over to the treasure stat. So to get in there, we're actually going to need 9 points of movement. So we're going to have to spend all 3 points of stamina to get through here. So let's try that. But of course, we do have to make a test jumping over this dangerous terrain. So 1, 2, 3, 4 agility here. 7, yes, we make the jump. That's great. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we could go the 10 there. Why not? We're going to make a strength check against the green loot. Strength of 4 here. Good stuff. We get an 8 plus the 4. That's going to be 12. I just realized I didn't roll the black dice with those dice for Rook, so... Uh-oh. That's an urgency token. Zeke's done. We move into Remy's turn. We heal up 1 point of damage and we're going to give her a couple of bits of stamina to get her all the way up. She's now going to do her strength test. All right, Remy's got a base value of 4 here. Great roll. And no skull. 10 plus 4, 14. So good. And then we're going to come back and get out of there. So I'll spend 1 point of her stamina to move. And that's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I'm going to put Remy just over here so she can add her strength to Nightingale's jump in just a sec. Better safe than sorry, right? Remy's done. On to Nightingale. 3 points of stamina. Let's get into the treasure cave. We'll spend 1 point of stamina to begin our run and jump. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And I'm hoping we can make that jump. It all hinges on this test. Nightingale is agility 5. If we lose this, we're not going to be able to get whatever that special achievement is here. A roll. Yes, we make the jump. All right, now that we're adjacent to the treasure, let's test our strength. Here we go. Big numbers all the way through. No skulls. I love it. 12 plus 2, 14. We kind of killed it with the gold this round. All right. Now I'd love to run on back, but we're only allowed 1 movement per activation, so on to Rook's turn here. We're just going to give him 3 points of stamina as per usual, then we pretty much going to end his activation because I don't want to have to test his agility jumping through. This does mean another urgency token. Hectic. Now, I don't want to risk anything with Zeke here, so we're going to hit his turn. He's going to lose 1 point of damage, and he's going to gain 3 points of stamina. And that's it. We're going to call his activation there and move to Remy's activation, who is so much better at traversing dangerous gaps. We're going to give her 3 points of stamina, and she too is going to heal up 1 point of damage like that. This time we're going to do something. Immediately spending 1 point of stamina. We've got 7 points of movement to work with here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite enough to get onto that exit tile, so we'll spend 1 more point. And guys and gals, boom! We are done. Question is, what was that achievement we got? Success breeds success. All of our characters took a handful of gold from the giant chest. What have we achieved? You've gathered so much gold from the pile that you can see something else hidden underneath it all. Yes! Gain a random, mundane, unique item and 1 XP. That is amazing. I wonder if this is 1 XP to everybody. Ooh, I'll have to look that up, but still, mundane, unique item. I love it. All right, here are our unique mundane items here. I'm going to shuffle through and we are going to take one of these suckers. Let's go for 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get the sentient bodysuit. So this gives a status to the wearer, gives a heal, very, very nice. But unfortunately, the heals cannot stack. So we won't be able to give it to Zeke and we won't be able to give it to Remy. It's either Nightingale or Rook. And I'm pretty sure Rook is going to be the wearer of this thing. Looking good or what? All right, we have our win conditions here. An adventurer finds and ends their turn on the blue exit. We are going to shop and train as we've done before, and then we continue to Too Many Sickles, which will be our next video. And there we have it, guys and gals, all done. 1 step closer to the Cave Sickle Hive. I think we've got this in the bag. Let's go debrief and I'll start filming the next one. Alright, so our little side adventure is over. We've found a ton of treasure. I cannot wait to spend all that gold. We might be able to get some unique items and upgrades, yes! But I'll tell you what, like, I was expecting a lot more enemy presence here, a lot more water lowers because of how much water there was going on those maps, but it was pretty chill. I think it was more of one of those scenarios where we can see a lot of the other gameplay mechanisms in action. For example, jumping. Both combatant and adventurers had to jump through there, and that was pretty cool. It gave us a very light introduction into this new mechanism, and I'm all the happier for it. But yeah, there wasn't too much to be done there. We killed some cave sickles, we killed some water lower, and our new plan of attack worked very nicely indeed. So, super pumped to continue on here. We are back on track for our main adventure. Let's kill some cave sickles. More on that next episode. For the moment though, we are done. So if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and do all those things that you guys can do to help this channel grow, and you'll get notifications based on when this campaign continues and all that sort of stuff. So that's about it for today. As always, my name's Michael, this is Bits Aboard. We'll catch you next time.